First of all, a major disclaimer, this is not going to be a technical talk. And sorry to disappoint you, there's not going to be any demo. I'm not going to be showing even a line of code. So I'm going to be talking about how Arduino helped me in different stages of life. I'm just going to be talking about just Arduino and me. Okay? So why not talk about technical stuff? So I mean, I have given like a lot of talks about Arduino, showed a lot of demos and stuff like that. And today being Arduino's 10th anniversary, I thought maybe I should probably talk about something personal, something about how Arduino has been, part of my life for like probably last 4 to 5 years. And also there will be like a lot of different stages of my life there will be a lot of different changes which have been happening in the last 4 to 5 years. So I thought how Arduino intermingled with my life. So I thought I'll probably talk about that from a personal perspective rather than talking about something technical, which I hope would have been covered by most of the speakers in the previous sessions. And also like, this is Arduino office, right? So you can just walk in any day and talk about any of the technical stuff. So, who am I? And I think Priya gave most of the about description about me. So, in short, I work as a research engineer in Yahoo Labs. So that's my day job, and that has nothing to do with my hobby. And my hobby is to play around with hardware stuff. I've been playing around with Arduino for like around 4 to 5 years now, and I've also recently started playing around with Raspberry Pi. And after playing around with Arduino, I started moving towards AVR microcontrollers, towards the brain of Arduino and all that stuff. Okay, so I was someone who hated electronics. Okay, how many of you listened to my story before, this electronic story before? Okay, sorry guys, I'm going to repeat it again. Okay, so I was this guy who hated electronics all throughout my life, right from school. I got into my college. I was doing computer science, so I was doing BE in computer science. And in most of the engineering colleges, you would know that there is this enmity, or there is this, kind of friction between the computer science department and the electronics department. And that happened in my college as well. And in my third semester, I guess, I had one electronics paper, or one electronics lab, for which I have to go to the electronics lab. I went there the first day, took a wire, a jumper cable, just a small cable, put it on the socket like this, switched it on. The entire college lost power, and I think that was the first and last day I ever was allowed into the electronics department. So there was a huge outcry by the EC HOD. The EC is the Electronics and Communication, I guess. That department's HOD with CSE HOD, and I was debarred from stepping into that entire building. So I was like that till sometime back, and that was changed by Arduino. Okay, so I was doing hardware. I was doing software most of my life, and I bought a new phone. I think that was somewhere around 5 years before, when the smartphone wave was just like riding. I bought a new Android phone, and I was like playing around with it, trying to create some apps and all that stuff, and slowly realized, it would be really interesting if I do something more with that, or something more in the sense like control some physical objects which are like lying around, some toy or maybe whatever. So something like that. So can I start playing around with it, or can I start controlling those things? So that's how I started into Arduino. And that was the time when I think there was a lot of work going around integrating Arduino and Android. So there were like a lot of people who are trying to control Android devices from Arduino and vice versa and stuff like that. And I started playing around with that. Bought my first Arduino kit, the original Arduino, for the record, and started playing around with it. Got really attracted with it. Even though I hated electronics, it was really very easy for me to get started. Maybe that's one thing which Arduino did really, really good, because if it had a learning curve, I think that would have been my last try or last day with electronics. So I started playing around with it, made my first LEDs blink, and then made my first LEDs burn. And yeah, so slowly started playing around with stuff. And so, some of my first projects involved around connecting Arduino with Android and trying to do like different communication between them and all that stuff. And I think after that, Google also realized that there were like a lot of hackers who have been trying to integrate or control Arduino with Android. So they came out and said, you know what, let's have this official API. So they started with this something called ADK, I guess, Accessory Development Kit, which kind of formalized most of the stuff which we were doing those days. And yeah, so okay, long ago, I was single and I was bored, I was lonely. And I found Arduino, I was playing around with it. This was one of my first big project which I did, apart from blinking LEDs. So what I did was, this was a small bot. It had battery, and on top of it, I used to keep the Android phone and used to control it. Did a lot of basic stuff with it. You can control it from your Android phone, or you can control it. And then I integrated it with some Node.js stuff, and you can control it from any computer and stuff like that. Like you can control it from your browser, a lot of things. So things like that. And those days I used to call this or her as my girlfriend. So I named her as Asumi. So this is the project, so you can also have a look at it. So this was the time when I was just getting to know about Arduino and about electronics and stuff like that. And there you go. And then I got married. Okay. So I got married, and I think in the initial couple of days I stopped. Or I was not working. I was not playing around with most of the electronic stuff or most of any of my pet projects for some time. And then my anniversary came. I forgot to buy any gift. So overnight, I did this. And she liked it. And so I did a couple of other prototypes like this. Actually, this was a kit which I bought. I don't know. I bought it like some long time back, but I didn't even open it. But that overnight, I just like soldered it and all that, connected it to an Arduino, and it was blinking, all those stuff. Okay, so this was the next stage in my life where I started playing around with these kind of stuff, where make these things which are like kind of unique in a way, maybe a little childish, but kind of unique in a way, which which you can probably give to a person, or to a person who is like completely new to electronics and stuff like that, where you can just do that. So this is what I was doing for quite some time, and then I became a dad. So as Priya said, this is a slide which I had. I spawned a new process. So then, this is what I'm doing these days. Playing around with the toys, and also trying to see if I can, buy the toys, break it, replace the electronic with my own stuff and things like that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing these days. And so thank you, Arduino, because so as I said, this is my journey, this is my personal journey, and this is how Arduino helped me in at different stages of my life. And you can check out some of my works here. The first board which I showed you, the source code, the entire schematics, everything is available there. I've also written a couple of libraries for Arduino. You can check them out. There are some slides, and this might be something This might be something interesting for a couple of people. What I've done is basically created a makefile for Arduino. So if you're just getting started with Arduino, and if you're using your Arduino IDE, it's a really great tool. You can get started. But beyond a point, if you want to do a slightly professional work, what do I mean by professional work is if you want to get into unit test cases, or if you want to automate stuff, or you want to maintain dependencies properly and stuff like that, you might probably want to use a makefile, right? And that's what I created. It's a makefile for Arduino. It's just like a drop-in replacement. So all you need is your Arduino IDE. If your Arduino IDE is running in your system, you can just use this makefile, and you should be able to compile your Arduino programs and then just start running it. And again, if you're a command line freak, you would really love it. So you might want to give it a try. And thank you.